Shuklam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Sri Chandrasekharendra Gurum Pranamami Mudanvaham. Hindu Dharma Part 1, Religion in General, Chapter 3, The Purpose of Religion. Religion is the means of realizing Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. These four are called Purusharthas. In Tamil, Dharma is called Aram, Artha is known as Porul, and Kama and Moksha are called Inbam and Vidu, respectively. Artha occurs in the term Purusharthas, but it is itself one of the Purusharthas. What a man wants for himself in his life, the aims of man's life are the Purusharthas. What does a man want to have? He wants to live happily without lacking for anything. There are two types of happiness. The first is empirical and the second is everlasting and not subject to diminution. Kama or Inbam is empirical happiness and denotes worldly pleasure, worldly desires. Moksha or Vidhu is everlasting happiness, not transient pleasure. It is because people are ignorant about such happiness, how elevated and enduring it is, that they hanker after the trivial and momentary joys of Kama. Our true quest must be for the fourth Artha, that is Vidhu or Moksha. The majority of people today yearn for the third Artha, that is Kama. When you eat, you are happy. When you are appointed a judge of the High Court, you feel elated. You are delighted when presented with a welcome address by some institution, aren't you? Such types of happiness are not enduring. The means by which such happiness is earned is Porul. Porul may be corn, money, house. It is this Porul that is the way to happiness. But the pleasure gained from material possession is momentary and you keep constantly hungering for more. Moksha is the state of supreme bliss and there is no quest beyond it. We keep going from place to place and suffer hardships of all kinds. Our destination is our home. A prisoner goes to his Vida or his home after he is released. But the word Vida also means release or liberation. Since we are now imprisoned in our body, we commit the grave mistake of believing that we are the body. The body is in fact our goal. Our real home is the bliss called moksha. We must find release from the goal, that is our body, and dwell in our true home. God has sentenced us to goal, that is, He has imprisoned us in our body for our sins. There could be a spelling mistake. It should be jail. God has sentenced us to jail, that is, He has imprisoned us in our body for our sins. If we practice virtue, He will condone our sins and release us from the prison of our body before the expiry of the sentence. We must desist from committing sinful acts so that our term of imprisonment is not extended, and endeavor to free ourselves and arrive in our true home, our true home, that is the Lord. This home is bliss that passeth understanding, bliss that is not bound by the limitations of time, space and matter. Lastly, I speak of the first Purushartha, Dharma. Dharma denotes beneficent action, good or virtuous deeds. The word has come to mean giving, charity. Give me dharmam, do dharmam, mother, cries the beggar. We speak of dana dharma. The commandments relating to charity are called arakattalai in Tamil. Looking at in this way, giving away our artha or porul will be seen to be dharma. But how do we in the first place acquire the goods to be given away in charity? The charity practiced in our former birth by giving away our artha, it is that brings us rewards in this birth. The very purpose of owning material goods is the practice of dharma. Just as material possessions are a means of pleasure, so is dharma a means of material possession. It is not charity alone that yields rewards in the form of material goods. All practices committing under dharma will bring their own material rewards. If we practice dharma without expecting any reward, in the belief that Ishvara gives us what he wills, and in a spirit of dedication, the impurities tainting our being will be removed, and we will obtain the bliss that is exalted. The pursuit of dharma that brings in its wake material rewards will itself become the means of attaining the Parampurul. Thus we see that dharma, while being an instrument for making material gain and through it of pleasure, becomes the means of liberation also if it is practiced unselfishly. Through it we acquire material goods and are helped to keep us the practice of dharma. This means that artha itself becomes a basis of dharma. It is kama or desire alone that neither fulfills itself nor becomes an instrument of fulfilling some other purpose. It is like the water poured on burning sands. Worse, it is an instrument that destroys everything: dharmic thoughts, material possessions, liberation itself. All the same, it is difficult to start with to be without any desire altogether. Religion serves to rein in desire little by little and take a man step by step from petty empirical pleasure to the ultimate bliss. First, we are taught the meaning and implications of dharma and how to practice it. Then we are instructed in the right manner in which material goods are to be acquired so as to practice this dharma. And thirdly, we are taught the proper manner in which desires may be satisfied. It is a process of gaining maturity and wisdom to forsake petty pleasure for the ultimate bliss of moksha. Moksha is release from all attachments. It is a state in which the self remains ever in untrammeled freedom and blessedness. The chief purpose of religion is to teach us how this supreme state may be attained. We know for certain that ordinary people do not achieve eternal happiness. The purpose of any religion is to lend them towards such happiness. Everlasting bliss is obtained only by forsaking the quest for petty pleasures. The dictates of dharma help us to abandon the pursuit of sensual enjoyments and endeavor for eternal bliss. They are also essential to create a social order that has the same high purpose, the liberation of all. Religion, with its goal of liberation, lays down the tenets of dharma. That is why the great understand the word dharma itself to mean religion. Hari Om Tat Sat.